family, there is a message that's been heavy in my spirit, a word that has echoed through prayer, through stillness, through watching. 3 days of darkness are coming. And this word is not to frighten you, it is to awaken you. This is not a conspiracy, this is not a myth, this is not a trend. It is a prophetic moment, a divine interruption, a holy silence where the Lord himself will allow the lights to go out, not to destroy his people, but to draw them back. There is a reason God sometimes moves in darkness, because darkness reveals where your light truly comes from. In the absence of power, of connection, of normalcy, we are brought back to the source, back to him. This message is for those who have ears to hear, because the darkness is not the danger, the ignorance is. It's not about what happens around you. It's about how prepared you are within you. When God sent plagues over Egypt, he gave light to Goshen. When judgment came to the world, he preserved those marked by obedience. And this coming darkness will be no different. So today, I want to take you through the revelation of what this means. Not just in the natural, but in the spiritual. Because if your heart is anchored, if your spirit is alert, you will not fear the darkness. You will be ready for it. Let us go deeper. God allows darkness to awaken what comfort has silenced. There are places in the soul that do not speak until the lights go out. There are cries that do not rise until everything familiar goes silent. For many, comfort has become a lullaby. It has rocked us to sleep in routines, in distractions, in survival. We've learned how to function without truly listening, how to speak without hearing, how to live without alignment. But when God allows darkness, he is not abandoning, he is awakening. He is stirring the things that have been asleep for far too long. Because comfort, though soft, can be suffocating when it numbs you from divine urgency. The darkness that's coming is not just an environmental shift. It is a spiritual summons, a holy disruption. God is allowing what you relied on to fail, not because he wants you to suffer, but because he wants you to see what's been lying dormant, to see what you've buried under busyness, to see what you've forgotten to protect. There are parts of you that have been silenced, not by trauma, not by attack, but by ease. And now the Lord is removing the ease so that the roar in you can rise again. In the light, we often lose sensitivity. We lose reverence. We lose dependence. We confuse convenience with favor. We begin to believe that our own strength is enough, that our own insight is sufficient. But when darkness comes, it strips away the illusion of self-sufficiency. It removes the props. The stage lights fade, and all that remains is truth. And that truth is what God wants to awaken in you. The truth about your need for him, the truth about your posture, the truth about the state of your soul. Darkness doesn't come to destroy, it comes to reveal. There is an awakening that only happens when the earth shakes, when the sun refuses to shine, when the air feels still and sacred. God has always used darkness as a backdrop for deliverance. Think of the Israelites in Egypt. Plagues came, and in the 9th plague, there was a thick darkness over the land. But even in that darkness, God preserved light for his people. Even in that darkness, he was speaking to the hearts of those who would listen. It was not just a physical darkness. It was a divine alert, a call to wake up, to consecrate, to prepare. And that same kind of awakening is what God is releasing over this generation. The 3 days of darkness in 2025 are not to bring terror. They are to bring clarity. They are to expose what we've called normal that is actually dysfunctional. They are to reveal what we've tolerated that is actually toxic. They are to uncover how far we've drifted from intimacy with God while still performing faith on the surface. This darkness will strip away noise so we can hear again. Strip away lights so we can see rightly again. Strip away options so we can choose Him again. Comfort has a way of muting purpose. It tells you there's no rush, no need to press in, no urgency to pursue the deeper things of God. It makes your spirit passive and your discernment dull. But the Lord loves us too much to let us sleep through destiny. So He sends a pause. He allows the sky to dim. He silences the world. And in that holy silence, something begins to stir. You start to remember what it felt like when you first believed. You begin to hear the whisper you've been too distracted to notice. Your hunger returns. Your posture shifts. Your ears tune in. The shaking that will come is not punishment for those who walk with God. It is invitation. Invitation to reset, to reestablish, to remove what doesn't align, and that awakening will come at a cost. It will cost your pride. It will cost your comfort. It will cost your routine, but it will give you back your fire. It will give you back your sight. It will give you back your voice. And more than anything, it will give you back your fear of the Lord. That holy reverence that anchors you when everything else fades. That internal fire that cannot be extinguished by what's happening externally. Darkness will do what ease never could. It will wake you up. Wake you from the lie that delay is harmless. Wake you from the belief that shallow faith is sustainable. Wake you from the illusion that you have all the time in the world. It will stir your urgency. It will bring your knees back to the floor. It will pull your worship out of the shadows. Because in the absence of artificial light, true light will rise. The light that was always inside of you, hidden beneath comfort, waiting for a holy disruption to awaken it again. In the absence of noise, God will amplify revelation. We live in a world that is loud. Loud with opinions, loud with information, loud with distractions. From the moment we wake up, we are bombarded with voices, with updates, with endless scrolling and constant demands for our attention. And in the midst of that noise, many have lost their sensitivity to the voice of God. He has not stopped speaking, but we have stopped listening. We have become so familiar with the sound of culture that we have started mistaking it for truth. But when God allows darkness, when He orchestrates silence, He is creating sacred space to speak again, and this time to be heard. There is something powerful that happens when God quiets the earth, when He silences what's been drowning out His whisper, when He removes the clutter so He can release clarity. In the stillness, revelation is not just heard, it is received, it is understood. It is written on the walls of your spirit. There are things God has been trying to say for years, but the volume of life made it impossible to recognize His voice. So He silences the noise, not to punish you, but to position you. To bring you to a place where what He says finally has space to settle in you. Many cry out for God to speak, but are not prepared for what happens when He does. His voice does not compete with chaos. His truth does not shout over our busyness. It waits for a surrendered heart. It waits for quiet. It waits for those who have learned how to be still. And the coming days of darkness are not a threat to the ones who know His presence. They are a gift, a divine hush that will allow those who are listening to hear Him clearly. What you couldn't hear through sermons, what didn't reach you through conversations, what felt distant during worship, suddenly will come alive. Because when everything else fades, His voice will be unmistakable. In the absence of noise, your ears will tune to heaven in a new way. Your distractions will lose power. Your spirit will become alert again. And the revelation you receive will not be generic, it will be specific. It will be piercing, it will be personal. Because God doesn't speak just to inform you, He speaks to transform you. He doesn't give revelation so you can feel spiritual. He gives it so you can walk in alignment. In the quiet, He will show you what's next. He will reveal where to go, who to release, what to rebuild, what to protect. And what He reveals in darkness will guide you in the days to come. Revelation is not just about information, it's about illumination. God will begin to highlight the things you've overlooked. He will expose motives, intentions, hidden fears, and unhealed wounds. In the silence, you'll begin to see the truth about people, the truth about assignments, the truth about yourself. He will shine light on what's been festering in the background. And that light won't come with condemnation, it will come with clarity. It will come with the power to change, the grace to obey, the wisdom to move forward with holy confidence. There are strategies that God has reserved for silence. Blueprints that He will only reveal when the noise is gone. Instructions that don't come in corporate gatherings, but in the secret place. And in the 3 days of darkness, there will be a prophetic hush over the earth, a moment where God begins to download instructions to those who have prepared their hearts. You won't need to guess your next move. You won't have to ask 10 people for advice. The voice of the Lord will come like thunder in your quietness. And when He speaks, there will be no confusion, no debate, no fear, just clarity. This is why the darkness is not to be feared. It is not a curse. It is a consecration. God is pulling you away from the noise, not because you're being punished, but because you're being entrusted. Entrusted with secrets, entrusted with insight, entrusted with vision for what's coming. And this revelation will not be surface level. It will go deep. It will go into the places you've locked away. It will touch the things you thought you had healed from. It will activate the parts of your purpose that have been sleeping. Because in the quiet, your identity becomes louder than your insecurity. Your purpose becomes clearer than your fear. And God becomes bigger than everything else around you. He will amplify the whispers that were once buried beneath your busyness. He will echo His promises until you believe them again. He will remind you of who you are, what you carry, and why you could never settle. In the stillness, you will not feel lost. You will be found again. Found in the silence. Found in the revelation. Found in the fire of a God who never stops speaking, but finally has your full attention. And once you hear Him in that place, you will never return to noise the same. You will walk differently, speak differently, see differently. Because what God reveals in the quiet will forever shift how you move in the light. Those who are hidden in God will not be touched by what shakes the earth. When the storms rise, when the darkness falls, when the world trembles with fear and confusion, there will be a divine distinction, a supernatural separation between those who have merely heard about God and those who have truly built their lives within Him. To be hidden in God is not about isolation. It is about insulation. It is about being covered, preserved, and protected, not because you're perfect, but because your position. Because you have made the presence of God your dwelling place, not your occasional visit. You've learned to live in the secret place, to make the Most High your shelter, and that positioning becomes your shield when everything else is falling apart. There's a kind of safety that only exists in surrender, a kind of peace that only manifests when you have fully yielded. And in the days ahead, especially in moments like the 3 days of darkness,